Hey guys, it's time of year again, or not time of year, time of month. It's time for another Q&A video. If you're not super familiar with the way I've been doing things the last couple times, I've been taking questions from my Ask FM page and answering those. It's just easier than sometimes I get questions from Facebook, from YouTube, from whatever. So I've just been doing all stuff from my Ask FM page. And I kind of just pick the ones that I feel like people are more interested in. The other questions I get on there, I just answer right on there. So, anyway, let's see. I chose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 questions. So let's get started. First question is actually asking if I'm a fan of orange amps, and I got this question before I really told anybody that I just bought a new orange, which is pretty funny. So yeah, I am definitely a fan of orange amps. I'm a fan of a bunch of different types of amps, but every amp company is going to have different amps that sound better or worse, or just not really my style. Like, I had an orange TH30 amp that I really didn't like. It was just a very dark sounding amp. It was a lot of people say it's really good for like stoner type rock and like really like grungy type stuff, and that's really not what I'm into. I did get this amp because I needed a solid state so I could bring it to practices or gigs or whatever ends up happening. I just wanted something that wasn't really expensive and something that I didn't have to worry too much about. There are some other orange amps that I really like. I tried a Dual Terror before, and that is a really nice amp. I definitely enjoyed that a lot. And the one I probably like the most is the Dark Terror, just like the small lunchbox size amp. I'd love to get one of those someday. It's just got such a good metal tone. Like, I'd say it's easily as good of a metal tone as the 5150, if not better. Just kind of more of a British style metal voicing than this like American style metal that the 5150 is. Even though there is the PV6534, which is using like the UK style tubes, but neither here nor there. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of orange amps that I like, but at the same time, I don't love all of them. So, and I'm sure that's the same for PV and Mesa Boogie. I'm sure there's ones that wouldn't really be my style, but you never know. I mean, I've only tried like a handful of amps. I mean, I haven't tried a lot of stuff. So that's basically it. So yeah, orange is pretty sweet. Next question. Why do you need so many guitars? Isn't one or two enough? And I honestly think about that quite often. Lately, I've been trying to make sure I don't get too out of control with my collection, because frankly, I don't need that many guitars. For example, I just bought a new Strat body because it was a color I really wanted, and I just really like Strats. So I decided that being able to finish that Strat, I'm gonna sell one of my guitars that I'm really not playing that much, and I'm actually gonna be selling my Sunburst to Jazzmaster because of that. And the only reason I'm really keeping that guitar is because of the pickup that's in it. So I'm just going to take the pickup out of it, which is a bare knuckle Stockholm. It's a humbucker size P90, and I'm actually going to use that pickup in either that new Strat, or I'll put it in one of my other Strats and swap the pickups or something. I haven't really figured it out yet. But I mean, there's a lot of different types of guitar players out there. I can't really say that all of my guitars are exactly the same. I mean, there are some people that really do have a lot of the same guitar like say like Tom DeLonge or something. For a while he had like all of his Strats or something where they were all the same color, or not all the same, but they were just all different colors, but they all had the same necks, they all had the same pickup in it. It was all exactly the same. I mean, that's cool if, you know, you're famous, you can do whatever the hell you want, but there isn't a lot of variety. Like, all my guitars have different pickups in them. Some of them have different necks. Some of them have, you know, completely different configurations. Like my Telly is obviously way different from this. So I mean, there's definitely differences. If I was going to only have maybe 2 guitars, I'd probably have a Strat and then like a Les Paul or something. But I mean, I like having, you know, a handful of guitars that I could really change it up with, because not every day do I feel like playing a Strat, or every day do I feel like playing my Telly or Jazzmaster or whatever. So there's some guitar players out there that only have like 1 or 2 guitars, but they have like 50 pedals or more, or they'll have like 10 amps, just because that's how they really differentiate from their sounds and their styles. So I mean, everybody's different. There are definitely people out there where like they show off their whole rig and their amps are like taking up an entire wall, and they only have maybe like 2 guitars, and you know, that's cool for them. I mean, this is more just what I prefer personally. I like having, you know, a decent amount of guitars. So I'm definitely cutting back on the amount of guitars that I'm buying. I obviously, like I said, I did buy a new amp. The Fender amp that's actually behind me, if you've seen it or not, is actually something that was my great-grandfather's. I didn't buy that. It's just something I've had around for a while, and I never actually like put it over here because it doesn't really work that well. Like I said, I am trying to sell 2 guitars right now. So the other one being my other Telly. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. And I don't know. Like I said, I'm trying not to make sure my collection doesn't go out of control. Next question. What are your predictions on the rock and roll business in the next few years? Well, frankly, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like a lot of people are steering away from labels and stuff like that lately. I've been seeing a lot of artists and bands doing a lot of their own like self-promoting and self-releasing and stuff, and a lot of bands aren't really even doing solid copy CDs and stuff anymore, just because distributors cost more money and stuff like that. So I feel like I see a lot more people doing either streams or just downloads of their albums for less money than, you know, buying hard copies, stuff like that. And I feel like it's only going to get more and more like that, which is cool with me. I don't really mind. I mean, I do like having CDs because I do have a pretty decent sized collection of CDs, but I don't know. I feel like the music industry is a lot different from what it used to be. I mean, bands used to actually make money from making music, and that's just really not the case anymore. I mean, making music keeps people interested, but so many people still download it illegally instead of buying it, that really the only way bands make money is by doing shows, or maybe something even a little different from that. So I feel like bands are definitely getting a little more creative. Like there's some bands that are doing like workshops and stuff before their shows, where you can pay like some extra money and learn how to do like certain guitar techniques or drum techniques, stuff like that, from the actual people in the band, which is cool. So I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's definitely not done changing. I feel like there's definitely more changes coming for the music industry, and I feel like rock and roll in general is definitely not what it used to be either. I mean, rock's always changing, and I feel like there's definitely a lot of bands that are rock influenced, not necessarily just rock. And you know, as long as I feel like there's drums and guitar and bass, I mean, that's better than something like fucking Skrillex or Deadmau5 or something stupid like that. I mean, at least people are playing instruments still, stuff like that. So, I don't know. People are gonna have to try and stay open-minded, me included, and hopefully there's some decent stuff coming out soon. Next question. What is my favorite horror/thriller film? I actually just finished rewatching Stephen King's It. That's always been a favorite of mine. I've been watching that for years. I mean, I know that one freaks out a lot of people because they don't like clowns or whatever, but it's just super cheesy, and frankly, it's not a very good movie at all, but I always just tend to go back to it. I really like the Halloween series, and for some reason, I don't know why, but I always really liked Halloween 3, which has nothing to do with Michael Myers. It's just like a good Halloween time movie that I like to watch. I don't know. I mean, like I said, it's not very good, but it's definitely an interesting movie, and it's good just to get you in the mood for Halloween, I guess. What's going on? Come on. What else do I like? Signs wasn't a bad movie. I know a lot of people knock that movie, but I always kind of liked it. What else? The Nightmare on Elm Street movies are okay. I never really watched anything like the what the hell is it called? Like the Paranormal Activities. I never really got into those. The first couple Saw movies aren't bad. First one's probably the best one, I think. I don't know, nothing else really comes to mind. I'm not a huge fan of horror, stuff like that. Some of the stuff I watched is just really fucked up. Like, Insidious was really fucking just bizarre and kind of fucked with me a little bit. I mean, it doesn't like necessarily scare me, but it just screws with my head a little bit. VHS was another one of those movies where, like, I don't know, I couldn't really shake the images from my head for a while. I know there's a second one. I didn't feel like watching it. I'm just like, you know what? I don't think so. So, I don't know. I definitely don't prefer horror thrillers. I mean, I prefer maybe like the cheesy ones, the ones that aren't necessarily scary. You know what's a really good movie? I actually just rewatched this yesterday. Was I always mix up the title. It's either Tucker and Dale versus Evil or Dale and Tucker. I think it's Tucker and Dale versus Evil. That one's, it's like a horror or whatever, but it's really funny and it's a really good movie. So I definitely recommend that. Okay, next question. What do you think is more important for an album? It's sounding great sonically and being very well produced, but not having the best material, or it having great material but it not being very well produced? I mean, if I had to pick one over the other, I'd probably say having better material and not being very well produced. I mean, look at some of the earlier Blink albums. Like Cheshire Cat and Dude Ranch. I mean, I love Dude Ranch, and it took me a very long time to really appreciate Dude Ranch for what it was, but it really wasn't that well produced. I think they might have been still on like the Grilled Cheese records, something I don't even remember. It was so long ago. But it wasn't very well produced, but it still had great songs on it, and that's why people still love the album. And I mean, a lot of people really they're at least not super picky with the way things are produced. I mean, if you're a musician or like an audiophile, something like that, I mean, then yeah, having something well produced definitely helps. And I'm definitely one of those people. I definitely like having a good sound, but I feel like without good starting material, I mean, there's really no point. So, I mean, I don't know. Hopefully most bands can have a healthy balance between the two. So that's that. Okay, another question. How come you don't sing? Is it an ability thing, or am I just shy? I've tried singing before, and it's just not that good. I am much better of a guitar player than I am a singer. I don't really like my singing voice at all. I know a lot of singers do say that, but I don't know. It's just something I can't really get over. I like to try and make it so my guitar kind of sings for itself, I guess. Like in my newer stuff that I've been working on, like my own music that'll be coming out whenever. I'm not singing on that. I'm definitely having like a lot of lead guitar parts and melodies that the guitar is doing that could be sort of like a vocal-esque type thing. So I don't know. It's not for me. I mean, some people don't sing. Some people don't drive cars. Some people don't eat meat. You know, everybody's different. You know, there's just certain things that some people just don't do, I guess. I mean, I'd be lying if I said I don't like sing in the car or something like that when I'm listening to something, but I don't know. It's just not something that I feel like recording-wise anyone's really going to like. I feel like if I was going to record something, someone would rather listen to someone else singing than me singing. I'm just not a very good singer. So, yeah. Alright, 2 more questions. Probably pretty quick questions, actually, too. Have I been watching the Foo Fighters TV show, the Sonic Highways thing? I haven't, but I definitely plan to. I might just, I don't know, get them all after they're all out. I love seeing bands like making of albums, stuff like that. And Foo Fighters are always one of those bands where like I've actually just really been interested in the things that they say and the things they do. Even more so than I actually like their music, which is kind of weird because I've always just really been big on Dave Grohl and even the other guys in the band. They're just really cool guys, and I'm definitely interested in watching the show, but it's just something I haven't really got around to. I think it's on HBO or something. I don't even think I have HBO, so I don't know. I'll have to download them or something eventually. And last question. Who or what was the best live drumming performance that I've seen? It says, not that I've seen the best of the best, but Adam Willard was my favorite. I've seen Adam Willard. He is definitely good. So my favorites live that I've seen, Alex Van Halen. When I saw Van Halen, was incredible. His live guitar solo was insane. Neil Peart of Rush is easily one of the best drummers in the world. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. I saw Travis Barker a few times, and each time, well, not each time, but a couple times were really different. I mean, I saw him with Blink a couple times, and I saw him with Plus 44, and when I saw him with Plus 44, he was actually nursing a broken wrist, so he just had his hand in a cast the whole time, and I think he was just like smoking cigarettes with it like the whole time. Granted, the drumming performance lacked because of it, but the fact that he was willing to do that was just incredible. I mean, the guy's incredible. So, and just his normal performances when he was perfectly healthy was just awesome. Let's see, who else have I seen for a good drummer? The drummer of Steel Panther is very good. Everyone in that band is very talented. Honestly, I don't even remember his name. Actually, I don't even know his real name, but I think he goes by Styx Zadina. God, who else have I seen? The Sum 41 drummer Steve 032 was very good. He was always a really cool drummer. Very very cool. Who else have I seen? The drummer for Muse is really creative. I like his stuff. Dominic Howard, really good. I'm just looking at my CD collection, trying to figure out anything else. The drummer of Seosin. When I saw Seosin, I mean, I don't really remember the performances that well or whatever, but he is a beast. His name is Alex Rodriguez, and he is a very, very good drummer. I think that's about it for ones that really stood out. Yeah, I mean, that's probably what I'm gonna say. So, definitely those few guys, definitely very good. But I'd say the best one overall was probably Neil Peart. I mean, I saw Rush twice, and both times they were just insanely good. So it's just no contest. So that's all for the Q&A this month. Hopefully you enjoyed. I'll definitely be doing another one in a month or so. And if you feel like asking me anything in general on Ask FM, like before the end of the month, feel free to just send me anything on there, and I'll do my best to answer it. So thanks for watching.